I'm gonna jump right into it. Basically, last time I was finishing some details on the head, and yeah, we just have a few pieces to go through, and we should be done with the high resolution model for this character. Well, for the head of this character. So what's in red right now is the what I have not really like what I have not completed. And but once we're going to be done with that, technically, that's it. Um, I might revisit maybe some of the details. That's what I said last time before finishing the stream. In retrospective, I'm looking at that and there's nothing that jumps at me that's like, oh no, that's not correct or whatever. Um, so yeah, no, I mean, it's pretty satisfying for the moment. So I think we're just gonna proceed. We're gonna go forward, and yeah, that's it. Julie Denderino, hello there, hello there. Hi to you. Mr. Lan, hello, hello. Nice to see you again. Yep, let's load our ever faithful um, alphas. Hi, I love your work. Been waiting for the stream to ask if I can get your custom ZBrush UI anywhere. People often ask me this question, but it's not really like easy to share because the it's like related to a lot of tools that I like have not really placed at the right area in ZBrush and this and that, and it would just be kind of like a like it would not look like what I have, and I don't know how to figure that thing out. So I'd rather just not something that give something that's half-assedly done, actually. Hello, Rick Treaty. Hello, hope all is well. Hello, chat. Yeah, things are pretty good. Hope it's the same for you. The X ghosts. Got got you early today. What's good? Hey there. Hey Chaos, do you know where to apply for a job as a character artist for 3D printing? Well, the companies that do that, I guess. Scanner Sculpt, hello, finally able to get back to watch your stream. Hope you're doing good. Thanks. Well, I hope you're doing good as well. Absolutely. Um, I had kind of the same question as JJ Art. You to apply for 3D printing. Yeah, like just call, send your profile to Sideshow, XM, those companies, I guess. Or not hesitate to start with smaller ones, for sure. Oh crap, I lost this with the update I lost this mat gap here. Gonna have to oh. Oh, is this why it looks darker? Oh yeah, okay. Bye. Okay, I guess we'll just fix it manually for the moment. Okay, it should be a bit better. It's maybe a bit intense. There we go. Um, mm, 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 mm. Just reading the chat here. I feel like your local LinkedIn is a good place to start, no? Yeah, sure. Good portfolio in a van. Yeah, absolutely. Can you recommend some alpha packs, paid or free? Um, I mean, I guess I could just go with JRO, which like he does pretty much everything. JRO, Bozimart. Marco, how are you? Good and you? Good, good, good. Curious what the total polygon is for this so far. So far, we're at 45 million, I guess. The head is especially high. David Arena, hey Marco, sending you some gratitude over there. I super appreciate that. Thank you so much. It's very nice of you. Let's make a extrusion for this. And I'm going to kind of like push it in also. Inflate. Let's push that in a bit. And we're going to keep just the rim of that. Like this. And make another extrusion. And back to here, I'm going to try to push that in, see what it does now. I'm new here. How do you keep your hard surface looking so clean in ZBrush? Well, this is what I'm demonstrating at the moment. So I guess that my stream should answer this question. You can also look at my past streams on my YouTube. Bottom of the screen, you'll see two links. Take either of them, go on YouTube, and I go over some of my techniques there. I mean, what I'm trying to say is that I archive all my videos there. So the answer is you're bound to follow the answer and see my technique. A quick answer, masonry magic. Sell your soul to the devil. You know how there's always like a trick when you sell your when you get something from the devil. It's never like exactly how you wanted it. It's what you asked for, but there's a twist to it, or like bad genies and that sort of stuff. What do you think? What do you think is the like the catch in asking to be like the best hard surface sculptor? What's the bad thing that happens in return? The catch must be it'll be a mess for. That's good. Oh my god. Do you have a concept art for this? No, I'm using the blocking I made on the left, right there. You can never use Dynamesh again. Well, I use Dynamesh for my hard surface, so that would be bad. I guess every time you go to the bathroom, you make a hard sculpture there too. Yeah, yeah, pretty much. I think that's what it is. Ba-da-bum, I heard you teach 3D in France. How was it? Was it hard? You spoke a bit about it a week or two ago, but did you experience something like imposter syndrome by teaching to your students? I was asked to teach coding to young people, but I find it very hard. Um, the I've always loved to share what to share my knowledge and stuff. So for me, it's like I was more than happy of like doing it. Imposter syndrome, no, especially because it's a place where like people are like so happy that like you're there to go and talk to them. So it kind of like for me, what it did is it just kind of like made me more confident, I guess, right? I was like a bit nervous, right, to make sure that like because I didn't know like if my class was going to be like everything they were hoping for, that sort of stuff. So like I was um, I was nervous in a sense, but I think only for like the first time. Like after that, I got like pretty confident, and I just like rolled with the punches and everything was swell. Just the first time, yeah, was a bit nervous for sure. Like for everything, right? But not in the kind of like imposter syndrome uh, type stuff. But you know what it did? It did make me. It made me realize that I needed to know my stuff even more than I thought that I already knew it. Because when you're teaching, like you have to find like a way to really like explain it. So you cannot just like understand it intrinsically. You have to be able to explain it, which like elevates your level of knowledge on the subject, or pushes you to elevate your level of knowledge on the subject. And this is where like I started to establish like rules, understanding more like how myself I do things, etc., etc. Plus, it wasn't hard in terms of like language and stuff because French is my mother tongue, you know, so mother tongue, I should say, which is why I constantly make like just errors when I speak English. I find teaching is the best way to master a subject. Yeah, exactly. To what I said, David. That's exactly my point. Et les Français sont très gentils. Ça doit aider. Oh, I mean, they were nice to me. I just added this detail that we don't find on the model anywhere else. Kind of like gives me the idea to put it in a few places, kind of like as like an echo of the detail. David, I'm from Spain. French people are my sworn enemy. Oh yeah, I think that's going to be all for this piece right there. So there's the visor and the thing on the side here. We still have to detail. So according to my blocking here, really the two details that I really kept on having during the blocking was those like little X shaped, well not X shaped, but their placement is a bit like an X. Those green little parts. So that I'm going to try to make sure I have them. And normally that kind of detail I make them with trim front. So to be able to dig even deeper, I'll go get like a small alpha like this one. Now it's all about the angle of the camera. I'll save this view with zap link. Yeah, so when I step over it doesn't work. If I stay on the mesh itself, that can be good. So I'll need to be careful with this one to make it like small enough so it fits. Plus I'm gonna have to work in a view that I can do both. There are some views that are kind of like weird to use when you have a Cintiq like I do. Because they... Oh wait, am I doing it on the good side? Oh no, it's on the outside of the shape. So here. Okay, sounds about right. It sound like it looks maybe a bit crowded. Have the detail there. Like it's like a narrow thing already. So I'm thinking maybe what I'll do. So for here I'll have it like here, like this. It's not the same angle. It's kind of like a tricky one to get right. It's not so bad. This one's a bit crooked, but I can probably just fix it with the move brush a bit. Something like that. I'll just place like a small detail in there. Let's duplicate this mesh. Just so I can slap kind of like this shape in there. Maybe this one? There's a nice bevel. There we go. There you go, a little thing like that. That's going to be enough. Let's check the chat real quick. What are some design principles that you follow, consider unconsciously that helps you design these robots? Boy, I mean, there's like the standards of visual language that follows me all the time, and that's not even about like specifically robots. It's just something that I always consider, like line flow, making sure every line flows correctly, making sure things are well, like canvassed or framed inside of the shapes and whatnot. Proportions super important. Shape hierarchy or any kind of like hierarchy as well. Um, there's just so much, and it comes with experience to remember to think about them when you work on new things, right? Like you learn about them, you kind of like practice them, and then at some point it becomes like second nature. At this point, there's still stuff that I feel like I forget, or stuff I don't even know, maybe even. And I always try to keep like an open mind to learning. Like if I see like a piece that I particularly like, I'll try to kind of like just look at it and try to understand why am I like attracted to that piece. And yeah, I can learn from this. So this is the detail I wanted to do. It's a bit like narrow here, this edge here, but it's not a place that's like super visible, so I'll just let it go. Ah, it's like not a bad detail, but it's not really like following the edge here. And that kind of like bothers me a bit now. Actually, it doesn't bother me a bit, it bothers me a lot. Here it's a bit better. And since this side and this side is not the same length, I'll actually just put a detail in there, kind of like to hide it. There we go. Nobody will ever know that. I'll place some lines here, like this on the side, but I don't want it to go up like this the slope here, so I'm gonna put a depth mask here and tell him like do not go higher than your own normal. I'll take the longer one after all. I try to offset them a bit, but I don't know that if I like it. No, let's go back to the other one. All right, it should be all right. How would David, how would you advise to develop the sense you have for what you call frequency of detail, secondary, tertiary form, observation, copy, something else? Oh boy, that's a lot of question in a in a row. Um, it's boy, that's like an entire course you're asking me to talk about right now. Could you also show some practical examples? Yeah, this you guys, this is like asking me basically to give you like a full-on like course of like of 3 months in not 3 months maybe, but like well, depends on the frequency you come to school. It's like an entire course to talk about shape language and stuff. I can try to like talk about it when I see it, but like just out of the blue like that, it's a lot. Hey Marco, I'm facing an issue and was wondering if you had a wise tip for me. I'm on an organic model, and even with 28 million polys, I'm still not able to get clean tertiary detail. How do you fix that? Well, normally what I do is I'll just split the model apart. I'll just find a way to actually have like the character like have a seam somewhere and hide it, like either like with wrinkles and stuff like that. It's kind of like when you do like swappable heads with collectibles, you have to find a way to add a cut like that's not visible. And even with like fully like flesh characters, you just find a way with like a wrinkle or something like that. Um, so I would try to do something similar. But so about the question earlier about explaining everything, it's like hierarchy of form, line flow, this and that. I guess that the best thing that I could do is like actually like have like a course or a tutorial about it, which unfortunately I don't. But one tutorial that I've been constantly promoting that is not mine is Alex Senecal's tutorial on visual language, and he explains a lot of those things in there. So I would recommend like giving it a shot if you want to learn all those visual aspects. And it's not even like a long tutorial. It goes through like some of like these basics and stuff, and it's well illustrated and all that stuff. So I would recommend it. I'm just gonna write the name of the guy here. There we go. Did I get that detail correctly? No, not yet. Hmm. I don't think I like that. Undo. Undo to do. Hmm. No. Not like this. I had to remove my depth mask thing because it was kind of like acting funky. So for example, on a relatively naked 30-year-old woman, example, elemental model, would you go with a tube subtool or make a necklace? To hide the seam, you mean? Uh, well, yeah, whatever fits. I mean, like if a necklace would have fit with my characters, it would have been that. But yeah, I'm guessing could be good. Mo is in the house. How are you doing, Marco? Pretty good. I hope you are doing good as well. Hello, everyone, Warmaster. Little dent in these like side details here. I didn't think about that. Okay, am I missing like a detail in this thing? I don't. Hmm, no. No, that did not work either. Yeah, something like that is better. Good to know. Thanks for your science. I'm always satisfied. Please to watch your sculpt. My pleasure. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm just feeling like maybe a little detail to support these would help. They felt a bit like boring by themselves. Um, Maybe differently. What about, oops. Yeah, something like that is a little bit better. Okay, so I guess that the last piece that remains is the visor, which I'm going to leave pretty much like it's not going to have like a bunch of details. Maybe I'll do like the mantis on the left here, like a bunch of like just a few carved lines. Probably going to be enough. Just getting rid of a few um, morph targets because it's pretty heavy. Let's save this file. Lam La Pampadura. Hello to you. Hello, hello, hello. How do you maintain a scale on a set of models? Eyeballing it, using a proxy-based mesh as a base. Maintain a scale. Can you define what you mean by scale, please? Watching your creation makes my brain sparkle and tingle. Love it. Thank you. Just trying to see if a few lines there would add something or just make it too busy. Right now it feels like it would make it too busy. I work on 32 millimeters miniatures. Sometimes I find it hard to keep same relative proportion and average size while I work on a set. That's what I mean for scale proportion within the model and relative to the rest of the model. Um, well, often that's the reason why I'm going to have another model like opened here so that like I can test like the previous like details that's been put on the model. This is a finished model, right? So I can actually, if it's really important, I can actually compare with this character. Plus my base models are, I always have like I always like compare them like this so that like all of my models are the same size. I mean, it already has like a few like surface detail and changes already. I'm not sure that adding anything is really going to elevate this character. How do you go about maintaining design consistency among all the insectoids? Do you have any tips on that? Well, the way that I work right now with having like one of the insectoids here that's visible all the time is one of the thing that helps me the most. But I think also something that helps is just making sure that like I have like a consistency in the elements that constitutes them, like synthetic muscle. Those synthetic muscle have um, like fillets on them, not fillets, but nets on them often. It's like a few of the choices of the elements, I will repeat them, and this would actually helps a lot in terms of like their shapes and proportions. I think it's really just a matter of like being making sure that like if I use like a certain stylization, I'm gonna keep it like for example, I'm not going to go for like just a standard human shape because I've been exaggerating already the shapes for all of them. I'm just gonna make sure that like they all have like kind of like a weird proportion on one of the areas of their body, right? And in terms of like all the detailing and stuff, it's a bit also like the same for stylization. Well, now this one doesn't really show well, but I'll try to keep like the same kind of like details, let's say. Um, and I think it helps like the most of these kind of like things you consider or you keep at the back of your head or that you observe in terms of like repeating it on the other model, I find gives them the consistency. Plus, I think that like there's also just the fact that like um, I just let my mind go, and I think the insectoids are kind of like a reflex for me at this point. So there's also the fact that if I don't ask myself too much question, it might end up looking like an insectoid in a sense. But I would say that yeah, um, shape or stylization in the shape important. Repeating your theme that helps a lot. Like this one, I'm putting much more detail um, for this one, but I think that like when I'm going to look at it from afar, it's not really going to clash with the others, or at least we'll see. But yeah, it's going to have the same materials, same reflectance. I'm going to render them the same. So it's going to, yeah. Like, for example, we had this contest where we invited people to do an insectoid, and the like it went pretty well, right? There was a lot of like cool stuff, and there was a few of them that their looks was really similar to mine, and they rendered it the same way. So it was kind of like, oh well, like it's very very similar, right? But the style, my style was still like not exactly there, which is not a bad point. I'm just saying like everything that I understand about design intrinsically inside of me is what gives the result, right? So left unchecked, this will come back to the surface just naturally. Um, Even if like like if you're trying to replicate somebody else's work, there's always like a bit of you that's going to come out, which is perfect. It's perfect that it happens this way. Maybe referencing the other characters and okay, a custom set of alphas and borrowed pieces from one another. I saw Marco doing that. Yeah, this helps for the echoing, I'd say, mostly. But there's also like all the stylization and everything for sure. No? Is the Discord up? Sadly, I couldn't join. I'm getting invalid invitation. Yes, it's weird. Some people get that sometimes. I would just say try again because it's not like like we're banning like people based on anything. So just maybe yeah, try again at some point. Okay, okay, I'll try again in a few days. Sculpting is so calming. Yeah, yeah. Especially when you do stuff like here, what I'm doing right now is like a lot of like repetition, but also like pondering. Like I'm letting myself just look at what I'm doing and asking myself, "Oh, was that the right choice?" So this one I'm gonna actually really blur it before doing the extrusion, and the extrusion will be kind of like shallow because it's not like a really a detail I want to pop at all. And even my alpha, I think I will go back to the normal alpha. That's gonna round things more a bit. And this is really an intention to not have anything too hard like sharp on the glass part. Hmm. No, 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 not really working. Did you make the Wasp almost 10 years ago now? Ah, Mo, please don't talk about the passage of time. What are you doing, man? Oh my god. Why would you do that? And yes, it's like like 8, 9, I think. Boy, boy, oh boy. Ah, my heart hurts. Revolts, thanks. Yeah, I'm really kind of like not really getting anything from like any inspiration for like finishing this glass part here. As in like sometimes like it screams to have like a detail here and there or whatever. Right now, right now I'm feeling like okay, why isn't it not? Huh, it's weird. The brush is not acting like I'm expecting it to. How much RAM do you need to have to work with such a polygon in ZBrush? Yeah, like most saying, 32 should be fine. If you want to have a smooth experience, 150 million scene. Yeah, that's about it. I have 64 and I rarely go over 32 anyway, you know. Maybe sometimes when I'm really like pushing it, but that's like only when I'm doing like kind of like a render at the end and I'm just merging all my scenes together. You know? It's assuming I'm working on a character that just has like plainly like too much million polys, like the Four Horsemen with the mount and everything, for example. I'm really wow. I've just realized how much in my head I was right there. Just, I don't even know what I want with this. I'm just like running in circles right now. I think it's the end of the stream as well, so I'm just like needing of a break now. I'm not seeing clearly. Okay, I think what I'm going for right now is going to be Read my head just for a sec. I'm trying to close the loop on this thing. Okay, I think we have a winner. I'm gonna go for this thing. I'm just gonna do it clean this time. I've been stalling on this line flow a lot. Explanation for it is pretty simple. It's like for me, it's like kind of like right on the eyes, and it's the last thing I do. So it felt like I had to like answer for a few restrictions of line flow that I kind of like established on the character. So, but now I feel like I did. So it should be all right. I'm just cleaning up the damn standard. Yeah, okay. That's cool. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. So yeah, I mean this means that we're done with detailing the head then. There you go. A nicely detailed head. So now we can observe it in like without any of the material, just in terms of its details, where the frequency is high, where it's lower. I mean, it's a pretty jam-packed model anyway. And a fully textured head. So yeah, there you have it. Finally, we're done with the head of this character. We're just gonna need the rest of the body. Rinse and repeat, we'll get the entire character done. Yeah, it's gonna look good. It's gonna be cool. I'm looking forward to completing it. Let's save this. Let's check out the chat real quick. Matt de Veritro. Giga eyeballs. Yes, there is a lot. There is a lot. Exactly what is needed. Sam Santella. Oh, this is looking great. Thanks. Nice to meet you, Roman. How would you approach recovering significant but delicate details on a model if you need to dynamesh it? Something like scales, for example. Well, I mean, you'll need to reproject for sure, making sure you have the proper subdivision level on the new mesh to get all those details. It's always going to look a little bit like funky because like the moment you don't have like the pixels, like the polygon in the same orientation and that sort of stuff, it always feels like you need to have like more definition than the original model to get the details back. So this is something to take in consideration for sure. Acro QB, hello. I think you're not supposed to put delicate detail while still on dynamesh phase. It's true that it's not the proper way of doing things. If you end up like doing this, you can still recover it with projection, but it is best to avoid putting details when you're in dynamesh. Yeah. Hi, so many good emotes. What's happened with micro? Um, I don't know about that. Blink twice if Dexter is in the room with you. Okay, so I did a little apparition in Jay Hill's class recently, and I just realized how my background, because I'm protecting my statues in there right now because there's a renovation in the house, and yeah, it really does like it looks like American Psycho, the scene right before the guy gets axed. So wink, wink. I'll take a look at Alex and Ikael's tutorial tonight. Thanks for the tip, man. No problem. My pleasure. Okay. Just give me a second. All right. So, yeah, we're gonna go raid someone. This is gonna be the end of that stream. We're done with the head, finally. So that's cool. Next time we're gonna tackle the rest of the body. I don't know what we're gonna start with. Probably we're gonna work around the neck, that sort of stuff. Maybe the torso. We'll see. But yeah, so yeah, major milestone. It's good to be done with this. Um, I think we've spent like 4 stream on the detailing of the head. So basically, it's like 1 day of work, and I think it was like another like 2, 3 to get the blocking into this. So basically, we spent about like 2 days on the head. But I guess it's worth it. I mean, it looks cool. I'm happy with the details and everything else. So yep. Stepgate Central. Hey, what's up? You're coming in right at the end, my friend. All right, so yeah, that'll be it. Thanks everyone for joining. I really appreciate you guys coming here. Thanks for the kind words. It's really appreciated. So yeah, I guess I'll see you in 2 weeks. That's what it means. All right, take care, everyone.